The only thing I would say, you just definitely got to be consistent and constantly practicing. Start off with your lines, tracing lines on the paper, whatever it is. Keep pushing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it. Once you feel you got you some clean lines, you can basically do all small tattoos, and then you can start working on your shades. Once you get your shading smooth, stuff like that, you can look at it once we working. But definitely, bro, don't give up. It's gonna be all worth it in the end. Best believe it. So this is an easy answer right here. You say you gotta get used to what cartridges to use and what size. The cartridge really don't matter by the brand, long as it's sharp. Right now, I've been using Mass Pro, and it's just as sharp as Quadrant needles, which Quadrant seem like the sharpest needles to me. So the brand don't matter, but Mass Pro good to start off is reasonable pricing and things like that. But the sizing, I started off with 9 round liners, but you could start off with 7 round liners. But 9 round is just bigger, and it's also help where you ain't gonna tear the skin as much. But like 7 round liners, as you go smaller, 3 round, it's easy to tear the skin. But it's harder to see your mess ups with 9 round liners because it's bigger lines. But as they get tighter lines, you have to use a smaller round liner. If you having problems doing circles, I would say just I'm gonna show you with a marker or something, a pen. Well, basically what I tell people, like as far as like if you're making lines, you get used to making your hand motions like this. For circles, just getting the habit of doing things like that. Constantly practicing circles, drawing it on paper, and that's all gonna help you with that wrist motion. Because as you constantly doing this, whether if it's a large circle or whatnot. So when it's time to pull that line, your hand will be in the motion to pull. You see, if you're tracing it with a on needle, you'll be in the your hand already had that muscle memory to do with to adjust with those curves. My bad. I tell people to start off with lettering because say if you're doing a S, so that's like a oval, plus it curve back with another oval, and then it curve. Top, you could curve again. So that's basically our S. But if you're practicing, constantly doing these curves, that's the same way we'll move if we were tattooing. And whoop, little flicks, come around, little flicks. Constantly like that, you getting used to that motion with those flicks, and you definitely gonna be able to master those circles because it's all the same motion with lettering and things like that. The ink that I always use is dynamic for my lining, but right now for shading, I've been using my Empire ink. Right now, this is a whitewash, but I mainly use the David Vega gray wash. And in the beginning, I made my own inks, but for portraits, I've been try the David Vega set to be a little more consistent. The reason why I say that because I mainly have two machines, but I got like three, four. But I mainly use the two as a liner and the shader. This one is my dedicated shader. The FK Iron Zion machine, I'm just trying a new battery on it. But this is my shader that I use for all my portraits, anything like that. But if it's something simple, I use my the Mass Archer. But all you need is a liner and a shader, and you're gonna be good. Be good. Cause say for a portrait, I'll be using a 7. Right now, I'm using a 7 round liner, basically to map the chain out. If this chain was bigger, if we was on the hair, I'll be using the 7 curve mag to block in that hair. So you never really have to go bigger. The only place I use that 15 will be like on the cheek muscles, like big open spots in the nose. And that hat, you'll need a bigger mag. Like you ain't about to go brush through all that. Just with a 7 mag, it'll take forever. So the thing how I know what I need for each part, like I said, right now we tight. So I have to get a very detailed chain. So I'm gonna use my 7 round liner because the 7 curve mag probably be shading in the inside of the chain as well. So for the chin here, I'll use the 7 curve mag because it's a lot of black and shading, and it got enough room for me to wiggle around and still structure out that hair. In the face, by that area being open, this hair being open, while the hat, that bigger area, you're gonna need that 15 or that 11 to kind of brush stroke across it to fill it in a lot faster, and it'll give you more gradient, more fluid, smooth flow, smooth shading. But that's basically how you know, like tighter areas, small lines, like around the eyes, I definitely gonna use the liner to kind of structure out those eyes. But other than that, in the forehead, it'd be 15, 15, small tight spots around the nose, 7 curve mag. The inside of the eyes, I already said 7. So from what I just heard you say, whitewash to black. That's not what I'm doing. I'm mapping it out. So with a portrait, you never have to make no lines, so I don't have to worry about no dark lines. I'm mapping everything out with shades. I don't never have hard lines, so it ain't really nothing to save the stencil. It's just me building up my tones. Cause you're gonna start from light and then I build up a little dark on top of this just to give it a little depth. But you don't wanna use no hard lines on a portrait because it's gonna give you a cartoonish feel, not realistic. Realism don't really have no hard lines. I'm gonna say this. It's hard trying to really be patient when you got people coming at you in the beginning like, oh yeah, they need this, boom, boom, and they only expecting you to do this tattoo within 30 minutes due to their pain tolerance, whatever it is. So it's tough in the beginning to try to maintain that patience and try to forget about the outside noise and what's going on and just focus on your tattoo. Cause I'm definitely a victim of that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm definitely a victim of that though. They be like ready to be done, like okay, I'm gonna just let you be done. But it came to a certain point when I'm like, I can't just let you be done because my name is attached to this tattoo, and whatever it comes out as, whatever it heal up, they gonna know I did it. So now you have to really sit for this tattoo, and I gotta take my time to make sure it look right because at the end of the day, it's gonna reflect on you as an artist. Realism to me is all about lights and darks. So when you put light next to dark, it's gonna help the light pop forward. Think of it like as an apple against
You
a wall or
honestly got
something.
some, if not the best information on the stuff I look up for tattoos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Works when folks actually explain what's happening. So for the lips, how do you do those?
So for the lips, basically, I'll structure them out with a light shade, but always in the middle, in between two lips, you got that line in the middle. That's always gonna be your darkest point. Even though that's your darkest point, it's still not gonna be black. See, you got the light lips, they brown, but it's not gonna be a black line in the middle. It's just gonna be a dark shading in the middle. If you kind of get what I'm saying. Yeah. So basically, how I make my gray wash, like I told you, right now I'm using a white wash. But if I was just using my regular wash, I'll basically do like one drop for my light, say 3 to 4 drop for your medium tone. Depends on if you're using on light skin or dark skin. But we're gonna go with dark skin. So light, medium, dark. That's all it is. So it's a black, it's a half a cup, and it's like a one drop, one to two drop.
Dynamic black I use for line work.
Well, yeah, that's what I use, dynamic black. And all you gotta use is one cap full black, that's for your lines. The medium cap is just halfway full, whatever cup you're using, halfway full for your medium. And just like 1 or 2 drop or a quarter of a cap for your light tone. Well, yeah, I started off drawing portraits. That's why I always stuck with realism. I never really drew like cartoons or things like that. So I was already used to drawing soft sketches or soft drawings, shading in without no lines. But in the beginning, it did have some hard lines in some of them portraits. But the rest of it was soft. The eyes, the nose, and the mouth was kind of hard. But I learned how to soften all those things out. So that's why I think realism is my preferred style to go with because that's how I started off drawing. You know, my first exact drawing was really just line work from my school. I was a student in the classroom, but somehow I just switched over to soft shading. I guess because I used to look at DVD covers and I used to draw that. And you know, yeah, I used to start out with DVD covers and those pictures were straight realistic. So that's how I think I moved over to that.
Keep following your dreams.
But yeah, as far as I study a little color. I don't study it like that, but I'm definitely looking to start doing like color portraits. But I'm definitely gonna do color portraits on fake skin first. I don't think I'm gonna mess. I did one color portrait on real skin. It was pretty cool, but not the best. I know for sure. I think I could have did a lot better, but I just didn't have that much knowledge with color. But I was able to pull off that portrait. You know, so at the basic style, it still looked like the person, but my colors and color mixing just wasn't all the way there. But yes, I'm looking to do that more too. So yeah, I've been tattooing for 11 years. So I say 3 years in the house. It was like 6 or 7 years and like 2 tattoo shops in between two of them. And I've been having my own tattoo shop for about 4. It's been 4 years now for my own tattoo shop. So that's like a total of 11 years. And still going strong. So thank God for that. as well. I would say get into the habit of like just patting once you tattoo.
Thanks for joining the live. Your follow will be appreciated.
And then you got like a whole lot of spell. Just get used to tapping because over time on the client, they definitely say that hurts a lot by just rubbing. So just get into the habit of just dabbing and wipe only when necessary. So you say you draw a lot, things like that. So all you gotta do is stay consistent. First thing first to get an apprenticeship is your portfolio. They want to see how your work look. And once they see how your work look, then okay, then they'll be willing to teach you because they know where you at artistically. Like if you fall on where they need you to be at, they feel they ain't gotta show you how to draw. You already got those basic skills, and all they gotta do is transfer into tattooing, like pulling lines and things like that. But some people will pull people that really don't have no artistic talent. So best thing though, I said, build that portfolio up, and even if you been practicing tattooing already, you could just keep it on fake skin. A lot of people don't like to apprentice nobody that's been tattooed real people because they already got bad habits. So you don't want to start tattooing on people unless you for sure you're gonna kind of be pushing, doing this and learning on your own. But they got some people that can still take people in if you're serious. You know, as long as you're serious, I don't think you have a problem because you can easily show your work, things like that. I used to be going all around showing people my sketchbook, boom, sit in the shop and draw. So do some things like that. You got some shops, talk to them, just go sit around the shop and just draw around them at the shop if you got the time. And that's how you build a relationship with the shop and the artist that's there. Because before you know it, some of the artists will start helping you with some of the things. If they don't, just keep drawing, but they're gonna be liking your work that you're putting out and how consistent you're putting it out. You know, because some people start, stop, start, and stop. You don't want that. They just want to see how consistent and how serious you are. Once you show them how dedicated you are to it, then yeah, it won't be no problem to take you in, most definitely. And that's how I get it to stand out from that shirt. Barely tapping around the chain. So it ain't gonna be no hard lines being made. Still gonna be soft. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. So it's not super hard. But you want it to be straight to where it stands out. So once it heals, like on real skin, the reason I'll be doing it soft, so once it heals, the chain will look like a black line is around it. Cause remember, realism, no lines. The first tattoo I got was like at the age of 13. I had a family member that was doing tattoos, and they did a tattoo on me. But after that, it was a minute before I really got into tattoos. But I have like what, one, two, three, four, five, six. So I got like six of them on my leg. I started tattooing my leg in the house, like I said when I started. Before I started tattooing on any people, I started tattooing on my leg to get comfortable. And I mean, I was tearing my leg up, especially when I was trying to learn how to do shading. I did some clouds, man. That mother was burning my leg, and I'm mad that it faded. But it always worth the process of learning, though. But yep, I got tattoos because I know doing tattoos in the hand is like you got to go the stippling method and kind of poke in the hand, like poke that ink in there to get it to really stay. Because most tattoos with regular lines don't heal well in the inside the hand. When I put my stencil on, I let my stencil sit kind of overnight, the 24 hours type thing, and that means it's really be tough to get these stencils off this fake skin. You see how I'm wiping it? It's hard to get that stencil off these fake skin. So in order to get that stencil off, I be having to literally put bleach on the stencil in order to get this stencil off. And I leave that bleach on at least 12 hours right here. That's about 12 hours. But yep, let your stencil sit for at least 24 hours and it ain't gonna rub off. Best believe me, it'll be tough. It's tough to get off here while I'm tattooing it. It's only this light because I put that bleach on this part and it try to go up. What up, Paul? So to saturate a tattoo without darkening it, like I said, slightly brush against the skin, lightly tapping it, cross hatching, whatever you need to do to kind of soften it up. But what on black and gray is not really. I don't think it's really about saturating. What color is more about saturating. Black and gray is like you just brushing across it. You're not trying to get no super solid look unless you're talking about black or something like that. I mostly go for smoothness, which in the midst of going for smoothness, it kind of give you a little saturated, but I don't think it'd be like really saturated unless you're going with like a
Do you
color
have
gray.
IG?
Yeah, I got IG duck. So this is definitely a spot that I say will take time, or it'll be a little difficult. Cause we got dark next to dark. And how I'm
Thanks for
gonna handle
joining
this?
live. Your follow will be appreciated.
So basically how I'm gonna handle this situation is I'll definitely put a skin break on the edge of the hair to where it's light. Same thing on the beard. You're gonna have some lights around it to help that hair pop out from the beard. Like I said, it's all about light next to dark, light next to dark. I wouldn't say I use different strokes for different parts of the body, but I would say I use different strokes for a different type of tattoos. Like this is a 3.2 stroke, so it hits soft for my portraits. But like I'll use a 4 stroke for like line work. If I'm doing names and things like that, or like you said, a name, a lettering on the hand, you're gonna really need that stroke to push that ink in there. So yeah, definitely for different. I would say that's different parts of the body, but mainly the tattoo that you're doing, if that makes sense. Mm, mm, mm. So we starting off with our 7 curve mag. I'm gonna start structuring little pieces of hair. Not really trying to saturate fully right now. We just trying to build up to see where our highlights and our shadows gonna be at. And I'll also be making little lines in the stencil that separate those highlights from the shadows. Alright, that's on the beginning of it. So this one thing I would say for sure too. So starting off with portraits and things like that, learning, I'll definitely say do the hair with like a liner or something like that to kind of map it out more. Cause it took me a minute to start getting used to like trying to map out hair with a shader with my curved mag. Cause you definitely got to use the edge of that curved mag to kind of really structure it out. Barely tapping it. How I know where to start my tones and stop is basically if you look at this reference image. If you look at the reference image, it's right here. So basically, you got dark
Not tough, though I was
shades.
looking at him.
You got dark shades by this side of the nose, but it come down to light shades right there in the middle, and then it get back dark, back to the light. So you basically just go off your reference. Yeah, you basically go off your reference though. So if you got shadows falling one way and the others falling another way, you just gotta put your lights and just slowly gradients blend it to your darks. Cause how you tattoo tones in, it heal a totally different way sometimes. So it depends on the ink you're using. If you get used to your tattoos healing a certain way though, you definitely start adjusting those tones so when it heal up, it look exactly how you want it to look. And that's one thing I'll tell everybody: hard work beats talent any day. So you can be talented, think you got it all together, but if the next person is working hard every day and training, they will beat you any time of the day because your talent is gonna only get you so far. Make sure you put in that time, put in them hours to become that master you need to be. Best believe it. The reason why I use a mag for all animal fur is because like, let me see, you basically creating those lines. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You'll see those lines creating with that animal fur. And you'll create that texture. All animal fur, it needs texture. So you definitely
If
need
you
to
build
create
the
that.
layers of tone on the skin with a mag, doing it kind of
Cause I know this. I think you're the second person that told me about shallow. I wouldn't say it's really shallow. All you're doing is building up the tones. Just because you're barely tapping it, it won't be shallow. You're slowly building it up, but it's going to stick in the skin. But if you barely tapping the skin to where it's like, well, you know it ain't gonna hold, then yeah, it's not gonna hold. But if you're used to the depth of the needle and you just building up your tones, it's gonna heal up. So just with shading, by you shading, the needle, you gotta think about it. The needle is moving up and down by itself already. The needle is already going in and out the skin. So all you gotta do is brush across the skin and let the needle punch in the skin
Thanks
and do
for
the work.
joining the live. Your follow will be appreciated.
But that's all it is to it. And all my portraits, I noticed at 6.5 volts, it do the job. I can't really rush the process because my machine not moving as fast. So it's gonna make me slow down to make sure I'm catching all these details I need to catch. Now, mind you, I'm not perfect. I still got the flaws here and there, but I'm still a student. I'm learning from whatever I could see and learn from. I'm trying to pick up as much knowledge as possible. But yeah, 6.5 volts throughout the whole tattoo of any portrait. So that's why I would say, so starting out, if I could do anything over, I'll definitely go out every day passing out my cards. But you got to think about it. I was a shy person. I always was in the hallways drawing by myself, things like that. So I wasn't the people type person. But once I realized it, in order to get clients, I'm gonna have to give people my card. I used to go out and not give nobody cards. Every now and then give people a card. But now it's straight to the business. You need a tattoo, but when I do tattoo, you gotta let them know what you do off the jump. Some people be looking for it. They just need the artist to come up to let them know this is what they do. So don't be scared to go up to people
Thanks
and let
for
them know.
joining the live. Your follow will be appreciated.
Well, yeah, you definitely gotta know, let them know what you do. I think I would have built up clientele a lot faster. First, I used to do it like here and there, but once I got comfortable with it, I was everywhere. College campus, boom, boom, boom. They didn't have people came from the college campus that I went to and was coming to my house. But you know, eventually I had to get out the house because people started spending no nice size amount of money and they didn't want to come in the house to do all that. You know, it's all about professional atmosphere. Professional atmosphere. It's only a certain amount of places you could be at one time because you is one person. So when I'm in a shop and I can't go out tattooing, I'm gonna say can't go out passing out cards, social media, I definitely try to promote either every tattoo or like tattoos here and there just to keep them floating around the internet. And that's gonna definitely build your following, which is eventually gonna make more clientele come to you and get your tattoo, get their tattoo. Also, what I do is I do a birthday tattoo. I'm the only person in the city that offers a birthday tattoo. And it works for me. People come for their birthday tattoo. That let them know where I'm at. So next time they come, you ain't gotta just get a birthday tattoo. You can get your medium tattoo, or their cousins could come. You know, people come with their friends to get their birthday tattoo, but they'll get a regular tattoo for $40, $50 because it's not their birthday. So that's definitely a way to build up clientele because it offers an incentive for people to come to you. If you get what I'm saying. If they know they're getting something and they're getting their money work, they're gonna come to you, especially if you're doing a good job. So in the house when I first started, it was hard to find people to do tattoos on. So I definitely had to find people that I knew around the neighborhood to do it for free. Why? Because people know that I tattoo. They see this on these people that I done already tattooed. So that'll bring people to come spend the couple of dollars I was charging. Because if nobody never see your work, they don't know that you even do tattoos. That they don't know the work you're possible
Thanks
of
for
doing.
joining the live. Your follow will be appreciated.
So that's definitely why you gotta give away free tattoos. Till this day, I may not be consistent, but I still try to do free giveaways so people know that I'm trying to give back. I try to look out like no other shops ain't probably really doing it. So the way to stand out is do something different. Don't be afraid what people gonna say. They gonna always have people saying things. Do something that you feel is right. That's it. You want to take care of your people. They coming to spend money with you, so make sure you take care of your people. If not, you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna always just find another shop to go to that's treating them better. That's it. Customer service is one of the main things in our tattoo industry. You can have the best tattoos, but I can't see someone sticking around if you're treating them like trash. You gotta know that. Cause this one thing that I definitely do with my needles, instead of wasting all your needles trying to do it on fake skin, long as your needles still sharp, continue to use the same needles that you've been using on fake skin. I just make sure I rinse them out, wash cup, clean them, okay, put them in a box that I know already labeled. This is my fake skin needles. But at first in the beginning, I was throwing away my needles, but I'm like, why I keep wasting supplies on the fake skin? The needle's still sharp, they still work, you can use it. But you will never want to do this on real skin. We always use new needles, throw them away. No, straight biohazard box. But as long as you're on fake skin, you could use your needles and boom, save some money. You can might get 5 tattoos on fake skin out the way versus just using new needles every time and just throwing them away. It don't make sense. But remember, not on real skin. Everybody that don't know, if you got a lot of ink on your skin and you're trying to get it off, takes a nice amount of Lubriderm A&D ointment. Make sure you scrub it on that skin. Basically, scrub it, and then you're gonna come back with a dry paper towel and wipe it. But it's crazy, but I ain't been having a whole lot of ink smear on the skin like that though. Surprisingly, I remember I was, but nah, I ain't been getting a lot of ink smearing. And just wipe it down. Try to clean that skin. Mm-mm-mm. So you still see some of that stencil underneath that. But like I said, I ain't gonna wipe it down until we get from the nose, bottom of the nose, straight across to the hair and all that.